Willow Talk, and here we are, not in Perth, not watching what should be, as we record this, day 4 of a test match, here to talk about a 2-day test match. Heels, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Oh,
what a couple of days.
How good was it?
It was, I know you guys were there and Willow Talk was on tour without Alyssa, but
we'll get to that.
I tell you what, it was a very fun couple of days to watch cricket. As a fan, wow.
Did you catch it all? Because you were actually in between playing and travelling to go and play.
Well, I saw most of it, right? Because we only went 2 days, so I was happy. I was happy to be perched up on the couch yesterday with a beer in hand, knowing I got a couple of days off and, had nothing to watch.
Yeah. How good was it, Hads?
It
just
was
being there.
Just fast.
But you know what was so good about it? How vocal the Pommy supporters were in every pub in Perth. Mate, they gave it to everyone. I don't know what the players, how they dealt with it, but we were mud.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I've never skipped out of Perth Stadium with such a big smile on my face after that carnage of Travis Head. How good was it?
As you know, Hads, I don't mind a walk. I love walking. So I'll try and walk to the ground and walk back again. So
Great work, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only way to stay.
That's because he's fat.
That is rude. We don't fat shame on this podcast, Brad.
True. He was enjoying touring life, so he needed to walk.
Oh, right, I see.
Pot kettle.
I haven't read anything about Adam.
I walked back over the bridge after
nice, great walk.
Sun falling out of the sky, and on more than one occasion, I heard an Australian accent say to someone with some kind of English paraphernalia on you, "Have you got any day 3 tickets, mate? Because I've got some if you want them." Yeah, ultimate sledge to the English fans who I dare say are still over in Perth because they've booked their stay over there to take in the 5 days, that they're still probably copping it.
I tell you what, though, it is disheartening it is to say that they were good, the English fans. When they were in song, they had all their flags around the boundary. But the highlight for me was when Mitchell Johnson went and stood in the middle of them. And knowing the sort of person Mitch is and his views, he was angry walking in, just thinking about 2008-9. So they asked him if they wanted to sing the song with him, and he just looked him deadpan in the eye and said no. And the Barmy Army guy took 2 steps back and said, "Hang on a minute, I poked the beast here." It was funny.
He might have already realised at that point that Mitch likes to get in an MMA cage at the moment, so that could have turned out interesting. Anyway, on this episode of Willow Talk, we'll dive into the first Ashes test.
That won't take long.
The 2 cricket brains that we've got in here about things that you might not have picked up at the time, which meant a fair bit to the outcome of the game, which obviously, on face value, was decided by Mitchell Starc's bowling performance and Travis Head's innings. And we'll dive through Travis's best 5 innings and kind of reflect on those. We've got sundries, we've got WBBL, we've got the bounce back ability of the Sydney Sixers in the WBBL. All out 42. How are you travelling there that night, Heels?
Well, we needed 24 runs and over, Adam. I think people were going for it, probably going to get out. So, we'll move on from that one. We bounced back nicely.
You're still right for the final?
Yeah.
And we'll go through a South African batter, big, tall left armour that unfortunately got out in the 90s. Yeah, Big Marco, man from
he plays
Punjab.
spin very, very well.
Oh, he went to
Helps when you
town.
got levers.
Yeah, he uses them very well. We've used him a couple of times up the order when Rashid's come on because of those levers.
Yeah, so South Africa, as we sit here, in total control of that second test against India. Now, remember to follow us on Apple, Spotify, Listener and YouTube, plus all our social media accounts to keep up to date with our daily test wraps live from the grounds. And the best way you can support the podcast is hitting follow, subscribe on those aforementioned platforms, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Thank you for all the support. Now, we got gifts galore.
Start following the pod.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Hads, do you follow the pod?
I just follow the test cricket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him and Instagram don't always agree. Have you got it back yet, your account? Is it active again? It is actually.
It is actually. I've seen it. I saw something pop up the other
Put
day.
the tough guy walking across the pitch photo with his flannel on.
Put that on.
Hey?
That was Hads and Tubb straight out of Gladesville.
Yeah.
Good name for a movie.
Make sure you lock your cars in Gladesville. Okay. We've got gifts galore. Heels, I bought these up with
Yeah,
Haz,
good.
but the Willerton
What a
Crows.
score. Willerton needs to go on tour more often.
Alvin from the Willerton Crows met me, and he gave us the corduroy kind of casual cap, and that's the one they wear in the match.
I did think that you were wearing a really cool hat today, Adam. Is that one of theirs?
Yes. Yeah.
So cool.
It is cool.
Can I have it?
Edgewater Emus, I'll sell it to you. Edgewater Emus Cricket Club, north of Perth. I met Mark, who had the 1990s Michael Bevan, circa Michael Bevan one day.
This one
shirt
stinks.
on.
That looks well
No,
worn.
and this one is the Seamer Snakes, and with all due respect to the Seamer Snakes, that's been worn a lot in indoor cricket. It's an indoor cricket mob in Perth as well. So thank you for all those people who met up with us. Now, to my left, we've been sent one in. Now, this is a cap and a half. For our listeners, it's the red and the white of the Sydney Coastal Cricket Club, which is a junior cricket club, and they play in the Sixers Cricket League Southeast. And I like this.
Maroubra.
You both would write this. Uzzy and David Warner have been part of this junior cricket club. Their motto is trust, respect, humility. For junior cricketers, they're infusing those junior cricketers with those values. So, well done. It's a cool cap, eh?
Cool cap, yep.
I'll try to dig it up. I reckon there's a photo of David Warner as a young fella.
Yep.
I won't say short because he's still short, but as a young fella wearing that cap.
Oh, yeah, I reckon I've seen the both of them wearing it. Yeah, it's cool.
And last bit, the Flipper have sent us in some cut-in-half cricket balls. So
this is an expensive hobby, dude.
yes, Carl is a self-proclaimed Aussie battler who makes these gifts in his garage. He has pencil holders, magnetic bottle openers, wine stoppers made out of bales, golf divot tools, heels, very good Christmas presents. Check them out at The Flipper on socials or the website. So, yeah, the
What's
bottle
this?
opener.
Oh, this is the pencil holder.
Yep, that's the pencil holder. One
Cool.
for the office. Yep,
You know
one
what
for the fridge hads.
Yeah, you know what
There
I
you
thought they were?
What?
I was in Macram's perfume range. I'm telling you, it looks exactly the same.
Right, let's get
I'm telling you.
to the test wrap.
I'll bring it in. I've got
I'm just going to be
his
throwing
range.
this around all episode now. Cheers, Carl.
Okay. So, let's pick apart the two great performances on reflection. Head and Stark, the two Aussies who won the test match, with all due respect to the teammates who all played some kind of role. What was most astonishing about Travis Head's batting performance and Mitchell Stark's bowling performance?
Well, I'll start with Stark, actually. He's played 100 tests. He's one of the greats of the game. If I was him, I thought he was under a bit of pressure going into the test match, not around performance, around, mate, you've got to own this attack. You've got to stand up. You've got Boland, who England went after last time. You've got Doggett making his test debut. And I'm glad that Starkey got man of the match. I'm not saying that because Heels is here, but I thought the way he led that attack with all the big guns not there, and he stood up. We knew Nathan Lyon wasn't going to play a big role the way England bat. And I just thought the way he presented, it was, we always knew he was going to get a wicket in the first over, so we can just bench that. It was just the way he dominated with the ball the whole way through. I just think hats off to Starkey.
We've got enough hats to take off in here, but what about you?
Yeah,
Alyssa? How you saw watching, I don't know if you pick up cues about when he's bowling really well, and if you noticed anything about his first spell, for instance, because it worked all
Did he
test.
feel, did he feel under pressure going in because he had to take everyone with him?
No, not so much that. I think he was a bit more just like knew he had to get a job done, and that's probably when he's at his best, right? When he's really clear on his role, what he needs to do at the time. And I think maybe having a little bit more of like a leadership role in that group, which he doesn't have a lot. I mean, Pat Cummins is his skipper. Him and Josh have played a lot of cricket together. Nathan's played a lot of test matches as well. So when you think about that attack, they probably just sort of do their own thing. But I guess for Mitch to sort of maybe thrive off a little bit of leadership in that regard, I think really helped him. That's me speaking. It was like from a wife's perspective, which is a bit weird sitting here, but I was really proud of it. I thought he stood up exactly when he needed to. And, you know, if Pat comes back next game or whatever it might be, I hope he still plays a similar role that he did last game. But I just thought he did the perfect job at the right time.
Yeah, he made mention that his rhythm has been good in the build-up, and it's like, because ankle problem.
I bet he's got an ankle problem now.
Yeah, well, he's got a shin problem.
He's actually got a leg today. Chicken legs normal time, but he's got a massive lump on his shin.
Oh, it's a lump, or is it a...
It's big. The whole thing's blown up. It's hilarious.
Yeah, don't stop a Jamie Smith on drive. What do you call it, Hats?
Shot of the day.
Shot of the day.
It was technically the most correct shot of the whole game by England. Beautiful on drive. He did it as hard as he could, and Mitch put his leg in front of it.
Straight into his shin.
Yeah, safe full.
My goodness. But his rhythm and finding that rhythm and the build-up from, the ankle off the back of the West Indies tour wasn't 100%. So comes back, starts running around August, starts building up, plays the white ball, plays a bit of shield. I mean, if you're going to have the build-up on reflection, it looks like it was the perfect one all the way through.
Well, yeah, I think he seemed like he's peaking at the right time, and it probably worked out well in that regard. Now that, Josh wasn't there, Pat wasn't there, Mitch was like, shit, I've got to play all 5 tests. Not that he wasn't going to initially anyway, but he's like, I might need to do a bit more for longer periods. So I think the preparation was key in that. And yeah, I think he felt a little bit better ball in hand. He hadn't quite clicked, but he was still bowling well. But to see it probably as consistent as what I've seen for a while was pretty cool to see, which means he's obviously got some sort of rhythm back.
What I like most about the way he bowled, we know his strength is the big in-swinger, but...
wasn't swinging.
No. And he had to play a different role. Like he took the ball, and not many people notice, he took the ball to 6 stump, crossed the seam, and the first thing you're thinking when you're facing Stark is he's going to rip your pad off. So you're really hesitant and you're setting up for the ball that comes back. But where he did all his damage was that 4th, 5th stump where the ball kept going. The ball to get Joe Root was really clever bowling. You might talk about, okay, it's a false shot from Joe Root playing away from his body. But that was a tactic to stay wide. This England team are going to come hard all the time. And what they did in that second innings, they got their length right. They got their length right, 5th stump, and made them come at the Australians. They got all the wickets caught behind the wickets. So it was really clever planning from the Australians as well to put their ego aside and bowl the best way to get the 20 wickets.
Having a look at, okay, you take their top 7 who are expected to score runs, England. So 14 dismissals, 9 of them were front foot shots. A couple were neutral and what was it? 1, 2 off the back foot. So it was obvious that they were trying. Would you call that forcing the issue, or would you say that you have to do that in Australia?
Well,
play off the front foot
no,
if you're England.
I'd look at that, the flip that and say the Aussies bowled fuller, which is what you need to do over there. You tend to get carried away in the West, bowling a bit too short because you got pace and bounce, and you actually got to pitch the ball up. And we saw Scotty Boland get hit down the ground and dog it a little bit in that first innings, being hit down the ground, but he'd be okay with that because he's trying to pitch the ball up, trying to draw edges, trying to draw false shots. So if I was an Australian looking at that stat, I'd go, you beauty, we got it right. Yes, they might get away with a few, but we want them on the front foot over there because it means that we're hitting the right areas.
Yeah, I picked up an interesting thing with Ben Duckett's batting, and I actually thought he played with Ollie Pope really well in the first innings. What they did to Scotty Boland, they walked into his line.
Yep.
And it did throw Scotty Boland for the first innings. The way he came back in the second just shows his class and the planning that's happening in the change room. But in the second innings, Ben Duckett danced down the wicket where he gave the stumps up and he skipped down and lost control of his shape. And that then brought all slips into play and brought stumps back into play because he wasn't controlled. In the first innings, he was controlled with the way he played Scotty Boland. He walked into the line. He was balanced when he was making contact. But in the second, he overplayed his hand, and that just worked to the Aussies' advantage. Scotty Boland found his length, but he more importantly found his line. He took the ball to 5th stump, knowing the English were going to come hard at him. And at one stage, the Aussies took 3 for none. It could have been 4 for none unless Uzzy takes that catch. From the ball, 6th stump, getting the English to play out in front of him. So very, very clever bowling.
We'll get to Travis Head a bit later. We'll delve into Travis and his innings and also his best evers because we'll take a bit of time with that. I'm desperate to get to this little section. It's the other things that you may have missed, and just want to get into the heads of 2 leaders from behind the stumps and what they saw of the captaincy of Steve Smith, Hads, and also Ben Stokes.
I thought Steve Smith was good. I thought tactically he was really good. He learnt from the first innings to the second. You can go in to these games with all the plan you want, but once you see the wicket and the way the opposition's going to play, that can reinforce what you spoke about. Or sometimes you've got to make little changes on the run, and I thought Steve Smith did that a lot better than Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes had a good first innings, the way he used his bowlers. He's very proactive in the way he moves the field. They use the short ball. They bowl quick, all four bowlers. But in the second innings, he didn't have a plan B. And once Travis Head counter-attacked that short bowling, it was like, what do we do now? This is our planning. Like Travis Head was a really good example. They wanted to bowl short to him when he comes in at number 5, set a leg side field. But when he opened, they did exactly the same plan. But all the wickets had just fallen by the ball being full caught behind. So tactically, they had a shocker. Like get the ball full, allow it to swing and move. But they had one plan, and it didn't look like they were clever enough actually to move with the game and what was happening in front of them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have much more to add, I don't think. I mean, they're both quite proactive captains as well. Like, you always see Steve Smith tinkering with the field. Stokes probably more so. He's like, sticks with a plan for a little bit, goes, not working, let's try again.
First time I've seen Ben Stokes captain with my own eyes. So I went down to the boundary, lucky enough to be able to take it in from there. You're right about the intensity, by the way. There's a difference. There's a huge difference between the intensity of something of that standard and anything else you've ever seen. Yep. Even just a normal one-day international or a normal test match, for instance. But Hills, I was noticing Ben Stokes is very, I wouldn't say agitated, but he's extremely animated the whole time. There's always, he's never just standing there pondering and trying to think. He's always trying to do the whole time. Is that sometimes a trap you can fall into as a captain when you think, I have to make something happen here?
Well, but that's the way they play, and that's the way they're trying to play. You can see it that's their mentality with the bat as well, like let's make things happen, and that's the way that he captains. So he doesn't actually give a plan time to develop. If it doesn't work in 1 or 2 overs, change it. Let's go. Let's try something else. So he's trying to almost stay ahead of the game, but then at what cost? A little bit. So in that regard, if they're going to go short at Travis Head when he's opening the bowling with a brand new ball and it doesn't work, well, you can't really go back from there, right? No. You can't really then pitch the ball up and see if it moves when you've just tossed it into the turf for 6 or 8 overs. So, but yeah, like he's very proactive, but sometimes I feel like maybe you don't need to be as much early on. In Australia, when the ball gets a bit softer, the wickets get a little bit flatter, you can probably play around, tinker a little bit more, but you didn't need to on that wicket. I mean, the game went 2 days.
Well, it was just after Travis Head, he started getting going. He's 11 off 17, then he started to get going, that I noticed at one point he moved Jofra Archer really fine at third and said to Cass, I think was bowling, like that, like tapped his chin as if to say, put one on his chin and see if he plays that kind of over the slip scored and shot. Cass got the ball to his waist. Travis just went back on his back foot and just slapped it onto the onside. So it was like he was trying something, but his bowlers couldn't quite execute some of the things that he was asking as well, which is maybe a reason why they got into deep trouble.
Yeah. Steve Smith tactically outplayed Ben Stokes by a mile, I think, in the test match. Stokes was good in the first innings, and Steve Smith learnt from the first innings. And what he learnt is the length he had to bowl, more importantly, the line that we spoke about, and Australia got the ball to move. Then you come to the batting innings, and they said, we got it wrong opening with Marnus, moving everyone up one. No, we want to have that stability in the middle order. They want Marnus to stay at 3. Well, he was actually outstanding when he came in. Yeah. Smith stayed at 4. Green can come up to 5, which is no big tactical move.
You were thinking Carey or Head were going to come up when we were waiting in that little break, didn't you?
Well, because the style of game that they play.
Yeah.
And the way that I thought England were going to bowl. I didn't think England would change their tactics. That they go short with the new ball.
It's a waste.
Yeah. It took out all the strength of what we just witnessed. So tactically, Steve Smith outplayed Ben Stokes by a mile.
Jake Weatherall, when he came in, so you'd imagine that if England take an early wicket, momentum is just all with it, that entire Barmy army going ballistic. Jake Weatherall came in and left, I think he left something like 8 or 9 in the first
Loved
few
it.
overs.
So
I thought it was awesome.
The big shoulder of arms.
Yeah.
A lot of value in that shot.
You know what I loved the most about that was Travis Head faced first ball, right?
Yep.
I loved that. Like
did I.
from a teammate perspective, like you got a guy on his first test, he got a duck in the first innings, faced a couple of balls. Trav goes, I got this.
Yeah.
Walked straight out there, gave an opportunity to have a look, and then Jake gets down the other end, nullifies it for a little bit, kind of takes the air out of it while Trav's doing what he's doing down the other end. I thought it was awesome. And then Travis took the pressure off Jake, and then Travis took the pressure off Marnus as well, who flourished at his opportunity when he came in. So from a team morale perspective, I reckon that's awesome.
A couple of other things. Across town at the same time, Josh Inglis was sent up to the batting for a CA 11 against the England Lions. And as we sit here right now, he's still in his second innings at Lilac Hill. Matt Renshaw got 100. It's going to be a huge story about it. Australia win an opening Ashes test by 8 wickets, but there's still someone under pressure. That's just how it rolls in an Australian summer.
Like, I had an inkling that maybe at some point throughout the summer, Uzzy would be talked about, like at some point. I was hoping in like a positive manner, but I didn't think it would be happening this quickly with what unfolded over there in 2 days. And all of a sudden we're talking about an opening batter again and whether they should be there. It's wild to me, but I'm really intrigued to see how the next 10 days unfold. He's got some work to do to get his back right, to probably prove fitness, but at the same time, there's now going to be conversations about who does open the batting for Australia, and all of a sudden it's not the other spot. So I just think it's going to be a wild 10 days leading into the Gabba.
Spasm's a spasm, but you get a double spasm day on day. There's obviously something structurally not right there, so hopefully he's okay and he works through that. But had you, in the immediate aftermath, you said, no, keep him there. Is that in reference to the fact that it's at the Gabba, he knows the conditions well? Why tinker with it?
Well, I don't. Travis Head he's played one of the all-time great Ashes knocks, and now we know we've got an option there in Travis Head. You can be more flexible in maybe a second innings of a game. We know that Travis Head can come up to the top. I think Australia would be reluctant to change Uzzy because it's the second game of an Ashes test.
Yeah.
That's my gut feeling. I love Travis Head there. Don't get me wrong. The way he played and the decisions, or the lack of decisions England had when he got going, I did enjoy that. But I'd be very surprised, especially with how they've been in the past, this selection panel, that they've stayed loyal for a long time. And you're not going to throw your planning out the window after one test
on
match.
a whim.
No.
Yeah.
But if you need someone in the second innings to play a different role, Uzzy can bat in the middle order as well. It all comes down to how serious the back is. Like can Uzzy come up fitness wise? I think that's the biggest question.
Yeah, 100%. They won't. Yeah, we don't. That's what I was saying. It's like, it's funny that we're talking about it already when there's no need to be honest. Like, it's more, will he be fit to play at the Gabba? I assume he will. He's got a lot of time now to work through whatever the issue was. Yeah. Get him out there. And I think for his sake, he'll want to be out there and to prove a point, because for the next 10 days, everyone's going to be writing about why isn't Travis Head opening? And Uzzy's like, I've been doing it really well for a long period of time. Like, give me a crack at it.
Well, what we have been saying since David Warner retired is we've needed an opener like this.
Yeah.
And it's taken this long now, first Ashes test, to say, okay, yep, we've all known this style of player will work against England. We've seen it tactically. It threw them into disarray, the way Travis had played. And listening to McCullum and Stokes in their presses, that they actually had no answers to what Travis Head was doing.
No.
None.
Did Stokes miss a trick? Just back to him, did he miss a trick by not bowling himself earlier?
100%. The one thing he did
in the second innings,
better than all the English quicks, he got his length fuller. Mm-hmm. And you can fall into the trap in Perth of bowling pretty, where the ball comes up, sails under your chin, the batsman are ducking and weaving, keeper takes it above his head, dot ball, not out. Where what Ben Stokes did, he's got the ball nice and full, got the wickets caught behind the wicket, and got his length right. And he all he did really is just showed his experience. I thought if I was captain now, I would have had the ball in Ben Stokes' hand before Travis was on 20.
Yeah, well, you know he's going to swing it too. So if the ball's new, it's hard, and he is going to bowl that length. He's going to be the most dangerous then and there. That 145 plus at Travis Head, it's not as going to be as effective as if you get him unsure about his footwork, which is getting the ball moving.
So it wasn't 145 plus in the second innings.
Oh no.
No. Wood and Archer were 5-6 Ks
Way down.
Way down. It was a big difference, and it was a big difference to the eye.
Well, that was also an interesting point I was thinking about, is that did they get it wrong with the ball in the second innings? Well, it's probably the first time for a little while that they've had to bowl back-to-back days, if that makes sense. Like both innings were
in the same day.
Within 2 days.
They only bowled 30 overs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still like...
But they look cooked at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Cars looked like he'd run a marathon by the time he bowled his 3 or 4 overs.
Well, they're used to their batters going out there and batting for a long period of time. So that's another interesting one to watch throughout the series, is if their bowlers are having to come out, a couple of times in the first couple of days, like how are they going to back up?
Stokes, it must be hard for a bowling captain, which Stokes is when they're in their field, obviously, that, I've got the 4 quicks, but do I be the man that kind of puts my cape on and comes on and saves the day? He doesn't want to be disrespectful to his 4 quicks, but at the same time, if he's the best option, he's the best option. But oddly enough, he has to make that decision. Must be difficult.
Well, Pat's really good at it, to be honest to him. Like, I think he recognises an opportunity where I could be really effective here, grabs the ball and gets a wicket more often than not. So Stokes probably has to think about it from that perspective. And I think he has in the past. You can see him bowling big spells because he knows he needs to make something happen. But I think probably with the attack that they've picked, he thinks he doesn't need to do that. But maybe moving forward, he might recognise that a bit quicker.
Tell you what he doesn't like. Mitch Starc bowling to him. That's 11 now. Ravi Ashwin's got him for 13. Starkey's the next best. And twice Stokes came in, and all of a sudden Mitch Stark's at the top of his run-up.
Well, I think he's always had a little bit of vulnerability back through the gate, Ben Stokes. He's had like a few troubles throughout his career with that ball, and I think now that Mitch has sort of worked on that sort of wobble seam, that's almost brought Mitch into the contest in that regard. He's got him bowled a few times. He's got him with a Yorker coming back in a little bit, and that's what he's done naturally really well. And I think the way that he swings the ball, Ben Stokes is happy to like miss him on the outside edge, but the one coming back in has always got him into strife. So, it just must be a funny angle for him or something. He just doesn't quite pick him up as well as what he could.
Once again, tactics. Well, both times, I think when Stokes walked in, I don't know who was on at the other end. It only bowled 1 or 2 overs, so they just stayed in their spell.
Yeah, Cam Green bowled 1 over, got a wicket, and then I think Mitch came straight on.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
no accident.
Yeah, no accident. No, like that. Once again, they're little moments in games that can have such a big effect, because we know when Ben Stokes gets in, and he's done it to us many a times. But what he does do, he actually doesn't play baseball.
Yeah.
He takes a long time to get in. And then once he's got used to the conditions, he can go to a different gear. But well done, Steve Smith.
Tell you what's not little. A little moment is the bruise on Nathan Lyon's hip, which I had a look at, and it is, say, like it's the size of a wicket-keeper's glove on his hip, and it's the colour of the willow talk, the red around the willow talk. Like it looks like someone's dropped a bottle of wine and it's stained him on. That looked...
It's got 10 days.
Horrific.
Test cricket, like you won a test match. That's what happens there. Mate, I've never seen anyone get 100 without being black and blue over there. That's part of the game. Steve Smith's elbow, Marnus's elbow.
Got one,
It's part of the test cricket. You have to take a few. It'd be good fun walking next to Nathan Lyon if he's annoying you for the next 10 days. Just like, shut up, mate.
Only you and maybe a few others.
So what you're saying is Nathan Lyon's got a big bruise.
It's a horrific bruise. Sorry, John.
It's test cricket.
Yeah, I know.
Is it broken?
I don't know.
I hope not. I hope
it's
not broken.
It's in turmoil. That's what it is.
Ice it up.
Ice it up. He will be right.
Have a few beers, make it bleed even more, and then
exactly. Let it run down your legs, spread a bit.
Bit of Hyrenoid.
But mentally scarred, not physically. Very much the English. Geez, some angry English people around at the moment. They are filled. Jeff Boycott, obviously, he's going to come out and say, "I'm done with watching this." He can't comprehend that you can't leave the ball. Sir Geoffrey Boycott would be thinking that way. He called him stupid. Stuart Broad, who it must be said, and I don't say this easily, he's a lovely human being. Stuart Broad, he's easy to talk to.
Said it at the start when got announced that he's coming out, that everyone would love him. And I think that meme / photo of him after I think Joe Root got out and Haydos is carrying on in his beaver hat next to him. His face, I think, quite literally summed up that test match. That photo will sum up what happened in Perth.
But he said on the Sky Cricket podcast, which is a good breakdown from an English perspective from Atherton Hussain and also Stuart Broad, that Brendan McCullum, the way he'll approach this is show a bit more conviction. Some of the dismissals in the second innings were getting a little caught between an idea. So if you're going to leave the ball, leave it positively, like words to that effect. But if you're going to go at one, go at it.
Yeah, I think so. And I think where they came unstuck was they were ahead of the game.
Way ahead.
I think that's almost then when you throw in their mentality with that, it's like, well, we're ahead, so let's just go. Like, let's just keep going. Yeah. And then they got themselves into strife by continuing to keep on going. And we got 3 wickets really quickly in that second innings and almost, put ourselves in a position to win the game from there. So it's a balance. And I think that this also reflects on their one-day cricket at the moment and why that hasn't gone that well either, is that you've got to find gears. There's moments in games in one-day cricket, more so in Test cricket, where you've got to just ride the wave a little bit, and that's to put your ego away, play what's in front of you for a little bit, and then you can cash in a little bit later. But they keep showing that they're not willing to do that a little bit. It's like, no, we're going to counterpunch the whole time, and you're just going to ask for trouble if you continue to do that. Yes, you're going to get ahead of the game. Yes, you're going to win some Test matches doing that, but it's going to come unstuck against good teams. And it came unstuck for them. They threw that game away late in that second batting innings, where they could have, easily set 300. Australia needed 300 to win. That would have been a really tough ask. No matter what Travis said was going to do, that would have been really tricky. So, I understand why all the ex-players are coming out saying that stuff, because they would have approached it differently. But if they want to stick fat with the way they're playing, that's fine. But you're going to have to reflect on that at some point and go, we threw that away.
They never look like they're going to be a team, though, Hads, who is happy to say, first 20 overs, let's just see things through and then go when the ball gets a bit softer. They don't seem to have that in their DNA. Do they need to somehow find it over the next 4 tests?
If they genuinely want to win the Ashes series, yes. They need to find a balance more so. I'm not saying go into your shell, but find a balance.
Well, I thought Ben Duckett and Ollie Pope did in the first innings.
Yeah. Ben Duckett left a few balls in that first hour. It was remarkable.
Extraordinary.
Yeah. And he had a really clear plan on how he wanted to play Scott Boland. I thought Ollie Pope looked the best of the batters that he plays really well with the ball under his eyes. And I'll go back to what we've said before. They're good problem solvers. And we talk about Steve Smith being the best problem solver in the game. And that's what they did in the second innings. Australia just took the ball wider. It wasn't groundbreaking, and just said, okay, England are in front of the game. This is how we think they're going to play. Well, let's make them come at us, and we'll take it wider. And on that surface, it wasn't one of those surfaces when the ball was full that you could throw your hands through there with any confidence. And that's those 3 wickets fell exactly the same way.
The bowling ones.
Yep. Or one from Stark also to
Reed.
Where they went wide, got them driving, made them lose control of their shape a bit. The ball did enough, caught behind or chopped on. It was just, as I said, Australia summed up conditions after the first innings, and England didn't. The Duckett one's the one that surprises me. He had the same plan in his head of what he wanted to do to Boland, but his technique changed so much. Like he skipped down and went away from the ball, where in the first innings he just walked in, stable base, and punched him. Yep. Punched him down the ground, took the risk out of it.
Jacob Bethel and Will Jacks got called into the England Lions game at Lilac Hill, so they're getting a little bit of cricket while everyone comprehends what happened with the 11. We'll discuss England's 11 and what they might do with it in a future episode. No. Don't change? Oh, okay, we've just discussed it.
No wood.
Straight away. But there, or no wood. Okay, we'll touch on it. We'll expand on that another time. But if you're one of them, do you want to play the PM's 11 game, the pink ball game? in Canberra?
I would. I mean, they're about to go now into conditions which are like not as extreme a bounce or whatnot in Brisbane, but a pink ball test. So you throw the ball's going to move a little bit more into that. It's still going to bounce. It's going to be that tennis ball-y bounce in Brisbane on the first day if they're going to bat again. But it's going to swing more. It's going to do a little bit more. So if I was them, I'd probably stick my hand up and say I want to have a bat. Probably don't want to run around in the field, but I'd probably like to have a little bit of a bat with the pink ball under lights to see what, how my technique looks at certain times, but it's up to them.
Well, the good news is for them that Mitch Starc has a horrible record with a pink ball. So, yeah.
So's Lion.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's right. If his bruise is okay.
He'll be right.
Make sure his bruise is okay.
He's fine.
Travis Head. So a little bit of detail about Travis's knock. By the way, Crick Info put this stat up. The highest fourth innings team score achieved by the end of day 2 ever. And before that, it was 7 for 105 by South Africa in chase of 334 in 1912. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Travis Head scored 123 himself. So his knocks, his better ones, New Year's Eve in Adelaide back in 2015, 101 not out against the Sydney Sixers. You playing that night?
Yep. That's made 54 not.
Yeah. Well, you were?
Yeah. Well, at the time then, I had nothing to say because the ball kept going in the stand. No, he's done it. He's done it too often now not to be a fluke.
But yeah, exactly. So 2021, 152 first test at the Gabba. He just went smack on that occasion. The World Test Championship final a couple of years ago at the Oval, where he set up Australia's victory, 163. The 123 in Perth against England, and the 137 in the World Cup final.
That World Cup final was...
It's a World Cup final.
Was good.
As good as an Ashes is.
That was a counterpunch and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ashes one was pretty sensational the other day, but that one against India in a final was big.
Did it remind you in any way, Hads, the innings the other day? So his World Cup final one remains the number 1 seed, but it did remind you of anything of Stokes Headingley 2019?
What stood out for me, and Hills touched on it, is Australia needed to know it didn't work in the first innings. Yep. And he's gone in and said, I will open. He said to his mate Jake Weatherall in his first test, get to the non-strikers end, I'll face, is how he owned the result. He's basically gone out there and said, mate, I've played 60-something tests now, or how many he's played. I'll win this game for you. And everyone else, just hold on because you're about to witness something. And he would have seen what happened in the first innings. England bowled well. They bowled fast. They were intimidating. And he just walked there and said, let's go. Here I am, everyone. I know what you're going to do. I put that in front of the World Cup final.
Oh, big.
Okay.
I only put the World Cup final because he took that catch too. He got Rohit Sharma. So,
yes.
I had that one in there. That tops it off.
And there was 100,000 Indians there thinking that this was going to be their day.
I wonder if he made that 100 also very impressive because you don't want to walk the 100 stairs back up after you get out early. So you got to stay out there and bat. So stay there, boy. But no, I thought, I just thought he had nothing to lose going out there to open the batting. Love that his approach. It was literally like, I've got to go out there and get the job done, which is sometimes really simplifies your thinking as a cricketer. It's like, let's just go out there, watch the ball and hit it.
That's why I kind of likened it. And obviously the Stokes one goes down in folklore because essentially, as the innings went on, it didn't matter where England bowled or where they put their fielders. He'd find a way to either knock it over them or through them. And that's what Stokes did in Headingley in 2019.
That shot just before he got out where he kind of gave himself room to the leg side. They bowled back of a length and he swatted it over mid-wicket, like a wide long on for 6 or whatever it was the shot of the day. It was remarkable. I just thought it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And now the family man, he instead of the day after putting that in India, that famous photo with him with the 7-Eleven sunnies on, the day after photo was him walking back through the car park at Adelaide Airport with his little one. So that was nice. Family man, Trav. Sensible, Trav. 4 more tests to win.
Well done.
Quick drinks break here on Willow Talk. Back in a sec with some sundries and some comments on our daily wraps as well. We're back with Willow Talk. So, you right there?
I've just been playing with this pencil holder the whole time.
The pencil holder.
Carl, you're onto something here.
I've got the bottle opener.
This is also a sign of why we're also like crazy as cricketers, right? Every time you see a cricket ball, you just pick it up, play around with it.
Well, this might have been the ball the Aussies used in the first innings because,
No, that's in Mitch's ball cabinet.
well, can you just check it? Marnus said it wasn't weighted right.
Oh, dear God.
He took 7 for with a dud ball.
Yeah, actually, he was saying it was kind of a little out of shape. Well, it didn't swing, so there must have been something wrong with it.
Well,
Yeah.
can you just check? Because
I'll
Adam
check.
asked me after play, like,
Oh, would you like me to bring it in next week? I'll bring it in. We can have a look
we
at
don't
it.
want to
Bring it
ruin
in.
it.
Yeah.
But
No, bring it in.
Marnus
I've
said,
already turned it into a bottle opener anyway. So
After yesterday. I was going to ask you. Here it is.
yeah, Mitch brought his balls home and we're having
Mitch
a
brought his
barbecue.
balls
Yeah,
home.
sorry.
Good for Mitch.
Brad, let that one go. He brought him home before he put him in the cabinet. He was cracking beers with it.
He was away for 10 days.
Jesus Christ, I've never seen
He was gone for 4.
sundries like this before in my life.
Willow talk after dark.
Oh, far out.
Anyway,
Where were we?
here I am
Move on.
playing with some balls. Yep.
No, but there is an art form to, isn't there? There is an art form for selecting the ball, and they obviously got it right in the second, more so than the first. Didn't matter for Mitch and Australia. You right over there?
Hills, what's happening in Big Bash?
Yeah. What on earth happened with your, like, so...
We
it
got
was-
Meg Lanning. Get on, move on.
Oh,
all right,
yeah.
she's still one
Talk
of the
of
best
Travis
batters in
Head.
the world. Let her go. Yeah.
Meg Lanning, that
Travis
was
Head-
as good.
Travis Head's innings was the second best of the week.
It
You
was.
said before.
That was
So,
amazing. I was just sitting there. It was the night before the test, watching it in Perth and just going, there is no shot she's not going to hit here. Because she
Yeah.
hit 2 over the offside and then decides, no, I'll just walk across my stumps and then send one over mid-wicket. That was in 3 balls and it went on for about 60 balls, didn't it?
best part about it, she was a runner ball through the first, I think, 25, 30 runs that she was on. She was a runner ball. Made 100 off 70 rocks. Like, just flicked a switch and went, I'm on here, let's go. And you know what? I was standing behind the stumps and it's nice to like not be captain and have to worry too much about it because I just got to admire it. Get frustrated, yes, about what we're trying to bowl, but just admiring it. It just made me sad. I was like, can you imagine her like strolling out in the T20 World Cup in the UK next year, like batting
there
for
a chance?
Australia again? I've no idea. I don't think so. From what I've spoken to her, she's finished with international cricket and she's found some real clarity and just enjoying her cricket and playing this franchise stuff. And it's bringing the best out of her, which is cool. But in my mind, she's still one of the best players in the world. And like, it's just a shame we don't get to see it more regularly. But as a sixer, it wasn't a great night. But from
How'd you go with the bat?
a cricket fan, I got a first baller. Bit unlucky with the DRS, to be honest, but back on Meg.
I knew you were going to say that.
Back on Meg. It was just clean ball striking at North Sydney Oval, which I think we've seen time and time again, which is cool.
Pure.
Yeah,
But you went down to Hobart on hardly any rest and got it done. A couple of days later, win's a win.
we did. We knocked off the Hobart Hurricanes, who were well and truly flying in the competition. So we're back to an extent. We got a big week this week. We got the Brisbane Heat and Sydney Smash at North Sydney Oval against the Thunder. So that'll be good fun. So yeah, big week, I reckon, for the Sixers. But the comp's like churning along. The Hurricanes, Renegades look really good. It's almost now going to be a battle for that 3rd and 4th spot. You know, some of the teams throughout the middle there are all playing one another in the next 10 days. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Thunder were going okay and then they got bowled out for nothing.
But that's T20 cricket, right? And sometimes when you got lineups like the Thunder do, probably like the Sixers do a little bit, the Strikers are a little bit like that at the moment. I mean, you can put 200 on the ball one day and then get rolled for 70 the next. So it's just the way that T20 cricket rolls. But it's been a tight competition in that regard. Teams are matching up really well, so it's been a fun watch.
India, South Africa. So the pitch is a little different in this one. It doesn't look to be going sideways on day 1 or 2. South Africa, as we sit here on the cusp of day 3, putting themselves into a really strong position in a series sense because they've nearly got 500. Marco Jansen went berserk at the end of their innings. But just on the deck, Ravi Ashwin and Sunil Gavaskar had a crack at, they looked at the first Ashes test and said, when India produces a pitch that only lasts a few days, the world criticises. But when Australia does it, it's great test cricket. I wouldn't say the first test was great test cricket, but your point was more to the fact that they don't need to do that for their own players.
No. And also they lost that first test, so
But
if you're
not
going to
Test
produce, if you're going to produce a wicket like that, make sure you win.
Yeah, they play pitch prep lotto. That's what they do over in India.
Well, what it does, it takes a bit of the skill out of the game.
Yeah.
You can have a part-time spinner that can be as effective as a Ravi Ashwin used to be. I just think on some of those surfaces, India's selling themselves short.
Yeah. I think it was Dinesh Karthik who put something up saying, like, would it be fair to say that people would rather watch, the fast bowlers get the wickets? So they're producing wickets like that, and nobody wants to see the spinners cleaning up. But when it's really exciting when it's the fast bowlers. And I actually was thinking about that at the time, and I was like, yes. I think it seems to be people get more excited by a big, quick running in, charging in, bouncing people, taking poles, rather than, a spinner running in on a turning wicket, getting wickets that way. I think that people would rather watch that, which is quite an interesting thought. I hadn't really thought about it before.
This test match, 489, that you said they're in control of the game. Don't be surprised here if India
make 589.
Yeah, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, but how long?
well,
They score quickly.
It happens in a traditional test match in India, where these are the scores were the norm. Then India would get 70 runs in front and bowl you out in a session. Don't rule India out of winning this test match.
Okay. I can see a social clip coming if they come back and win it here, Hads.
Wouldn't be the first.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I agree with you. I've seen it before.
Yeah. Good test cricket, though. It's good test cricket. Just on that, I think you want to see some kind of common sense from the players in the conditions. Now, to me, watching a test match where the wicket is literally turning sideways on day one, it takes the ability to have common sense out. Whereas the Perth wicket, common sense would tell you maybe leave the ball a bit more and you might have a bit more success. Yeah. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Welcome yours, 13, 13, 32.
Wrong station.
Yeah, wrong station. So have they got a podcast?
Oh,
okay.
Hang on, is that your other contract here side, is it?
Which one?
Take that out, Joel.
Now, we had some great responses to our daily wraps on YouTube as well. Here are a few comments. Gamma Bats, I am in America and an Aussie supporter. I was astonished to wake up and see this result. Not the only one. I reckon those who woke up on Saturday morning in England to watch a bit of Test cricket and realise that they couldn't watch any more over the weekend, they were more astonished.
Well, I got the red eye home. My kids had a fete at school, and there was a few English people there, and they said they got phone calls from people back in England that they'd woke up and seen the presentation was happening and said, how good's this? We're finally, hang on a minute. We've lost.
Yep.
So
he took my seat on the red eye, by the way.
I think he took Mitch's seat, actually.
No, he took Mitch. Okay. I had to go via Brisbane to get back to Sydney. Anyway.
Or maybe I'm more prepared than both of you.
I think it sounds like you are.
Don't look at me, I was at home.
Fletch said, as an English fan, Australia saw where it was going wrong and fixed it. England doubled down. That's the difference between a good test team and whatever this England team is supposed to be.
Apart from that last remark, that's spot on.
It is
when
spot
you
on.
think about it. And I feel like we've dissected that beautifully today, Hads, but Fletch just summed up the episode nicely in his comments, his or her comments.
And a lot of people saying Travball, that's a thing now, and praising our predictions as they are looking good, besides Heel saying Root will get a ton.
Rude? I think he will. No one wants to see Matthew Haddin run around the MCG nude.
Yeah, so, that's a problem for everyone.
No, but Travball is now a thing because I was flicking through the Fox Sports channels yesterday and there was something called Travball on it. It was literally just Travis Head's innings. So Travball has become a thing.
They should have an hour special of those 5 innings that we showed
was.
before.
It wasn't the 5 innings, but
it
was just Travis Head batting.
Yeah, well,
it was not a bad watch.
I think we're going to see before the end of summer a better innings from Travis Head than that one in Perth.
Ooh.
Where? Come on, predict where.
It's going to be like a counterpunch at the MCG or something
Adelaide.
like that. Yeah, actually, Adelaide's a fair shout.
And
he doesn't mind
the
batting
heel
there.
will go nuts. He's got the helmet on top of his bat in front of the hill. I can see it coming now.
We love a
Win the
statue.
Ashes.
We love a statue in Australia with our sporting heroes. Travis Head has surely got to be a locked-in favourite to have some kind of thing to remember him by at the front of Adelaide Oval, the way he's the back end of this career is
Buff and
going.
Dizzy got one there.
Yeah, he'll have one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
With that very shot, the helmet on top of the bat. Yeah,
exactly. Now, we're going to be back on Thursday and we'll have a bit more on how things are playing out in the lead up to the second test next week in Brisbane. Please chuck us a review and send us a question via social media and follow us on Apple, Spotify and YouTube. Thank you, lady. Thank you, gentleman. We'll see you soon.
What a test.
Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.